Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of a Hannibal reaction. This is Haarute Live, and my name is Matt. Hello, hi, how are you guys doing? So, yes, last time on Hannibal, Abigail woke up from a coma, and then she got a new cannibal dad? Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Uh, it was pretty much the Abigail Hobbs episode, and seems to be a character we're gonna be following now. To a degree, I'm not sure to what degree, but I'm betting she's gonna stay around in the story. She knows about Hannibal's secret, but that doesn't matter because Hannibal knows about Abigail's secret. So now they're just both gonna hide it for the other. So there is some sort of bond that formed there. I wasn't expecting that, but that's happening. Will is struggling over the whole Abigail Hoff situation because he feels guilty, he feels responsible, he feels some weird connection. You know, he talked about it with Hannibal. It's this thing of like, you orphaned her, but you saved her. So it's like, it's weird. Yes, Abigail killed that one guy, and everyone thought that one guy is the one that killed Abigail's friend, but Abigail's friend was probably murdered by Hannibal, but was she? I don't know. If she was, then why is she keeping Hannibal sick? Well, maybe she doesn't care that much. We actually don't know that much about Abigail. Like, we know enough, but I don't actually know her that well in order to know how much she cares about stuff. So, we'll see what happens there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so that should do it. Let's begin. Let's see if we're gonna do episodic. Let's see if we're gonna do plot. We'll see. So Hannibal, season 1, episode 4. Let's go. Oh god, what gross shit are we gonna see today? So this is a murder scene. This is a crime scene.
The Turner family is executed simultaneously, with the exception of Mrs. Turner, who dies last.
This might be the sign. There we go.
I shoot Mrs. Turner.
Okay, yeah, because the bullet came from the front.
Family values.
I'm consistently baffled as to how much he can pull out of nothing. Are you bringing a meal? I mean, dogs don't know any better. Why would they care? Like, literally all my friends who own cats, maybe not dogs, but who own at least cats, all of them agree that if they would just die in their house and their cats would starve, they would be like, yeah, I'd let my cat eat me. I don't care. And the cat wouldn't care either.
A son, Jesse, disappeared last year. Last confirmed sighting had him boarding an RV at a rest stop on Route 47. Possible runaway, probable abduction.
It's all sealed up tight.
Yeah, they probably rang the front door.
I got bullet holes on the upper sections of the wall, and again over here.
Okay. Pulled the slugs for ballistics.
Angular cranial impact coupled with acute exit wounds, conical spray. Shooter went low to high, probably crouching.
When was Jesse abducted?
A little over a year ago.
Low to high, and it...
You have to find someone to relate to in this experience.
Is she going to I mean, it hard cut to Hannibal, but I was about to say.
Do you have a beer?
Just don't expect any meals out of them.
She should be out in the world, finding her footing, giving her the confidence to move forward.
Abigail's in no condition to tackle real-world issues like where's she gonna live?
Suggesting abandonment.
Hannibal, this is a girl who was very attached to her parents. You stepping in as a surrogate would only be a crutch.
I defer to the passion of my esteemed colleague. Passion's good. Gets blood pumping.
I'm glad we didn't have guns in my house. We shot my sisters just to get them out of the bathroom.
Yes, all the attention and responsibilities heaped on firstborn children prepares them for success in the future.
My baby sister got away with murder. She had them all fooled.
I thought middles were the problem.
Middle of the sweet spot. Always trying to figure out where they fit in.
This conversation is wild.
There's forgiveness.
What kind of victim forgives the killer at the moment of death?
So...
Mother.
Both my parents died when I was very young. The proverbial orphan until I was adopted by my uncle Robertus when I was 16.
You have orphan in common with Abigail Hobbs.
I think we'll discover you and I have a great deal in common with Abigail.
Something so foreign about family.
This is the family episode.
Followed my father from the boatyards of Biloxi and Greenville to lake boats on Erie.
Okay.
Always the new boy at school, always the stranger.
Always.
What am I about to put in my mouth?
Rabbit.
You should have hopped faster.
Yes,
Rabbit.
you should have.
Yeah, thank you.
Fortunately for us, he did not. Will may feel the tug of life before the FBI, before you. Simpler times in boatyards with Dad. That life is an anchor streamed behind him in heavy weather. He needs an anchor jack.
That's why he saw the house as a boat. Dougie, this is good.
We found a match to a set of prints we pulled from the Turner home. They belong to a 13-year-old boy from Reston, Virginia. His name is Connor Frist.
You're expecting a crime scene.
Is this... So every... Oh my god. What's that? How long has it been? Also, what was that body that we saw? Was it like burned or something? So how does this work? Do we have a killer that is recruiting middle children?
Who is our additional corpse in the fireplace?
In the fire.
I'd say Connor Frist. He'd been prepped to shoot his mother, not watch her suffer.
Connor couldn't put his panic back into bottles, so he got shot too.
Oh,
Whoever shot him disowned him.
okay. Oh, our next family victim.
Don't be sad about Connor.
No, these are the
Something you
killers.
Understand. The family you're born into isn't really family. Those are just people you didn't choose. You have to make family. That's what we're doing. We're making our family.
Wow.
Family you think is family is just a stepping stone to real family.
Just a step. Oh my god. Okay. This is interesting. I like this bad guy. This is fantastic.
You can only have one family.
Wow. So it's literally just a woman that is like, I'm gonna adopt all these children and make them murder their own family. Because she hates her own family and thinks or relates to all those children who are sad.
Come early. Or late.
It was for Abigail.
Was.
Thought better of it. Wasn't thinking straight. I was upset when I bought it. Maybe still am.
What did you buy?
Fly tying gear.
Teaching her how to fish.
That's what he saw
Her
at his
father
house.
taught her how to hunt.
That's why I thought better of it.
Feeling paternal, Will.
A little bit.
Aren't you?
Yes.
And perhaps it's our responsibility, yours and mine, to help her find her way.
Oh my god. My two crazy dads.
You could say I'm one of your guardians.
Okay.
Where are we going?
Home.
He just straight up adopted her.
Can't really talk about this in group.
You don't have that luxury, Abigail.
I just have to get used to lying.
Well, you don't have to lie to him.
Only have to lie about one thing. And when you're with me, you don't have to lie about anything.
There we go.
And I will just get used to what I did. Does that make me a sociopath?
No. It makes you a survivor.
I like Abigail. Hannibal's cooking for Abigail. I don't think she knows what she's gonna be eating. Okay.
I want to work for the FBI.
Oh, that's
I would certainly feel safer if you were in the FBI. Protecting my interests.
Will could help you out with that, but
There are those psychiatrists who believe that altered states could be used to access traumatic memories.
I have all the access to traumatic memories I need. Unlimited access.
Which is why we need to supplement them with positive associations. No more bad dreams, Abigail.
okay, we're just straight up treating you with mushrooms.
You want me to do drugs?
I want you to
little
do
bit.
this drug with my supervision.
Alright, there we go. Abigail's just gonna straight up eat a person, maybe her friend. We'll see.
Just like we talked about.
Oh, is the deer gonna turn human, like we saw previously? So this should like straight up block those memories or some shit.
Infusing psilocybin into the bloodstream before psychotherapy can elicit a positive, even spiritual experience for patients. Psychological trauma is an affliction of the powerless. I want to give you your power back.
I don't feel so good.
That feeling will pass. Allow it to wash over you. Through you. Let me be your guide.
Jesus. Okay.
Invented it in the 19th century.
Yo, that was sick.
So she abducts them, convinces them no one can love them as much as she does, and then makes damn sure of it.
So let's go there. Can we get there in time, or?
Oh my god. Chris.
He has very detached eyes. He's been fucked up because of that woman. Can we get there in time though? Let's go, let's try. Is anyone in the house? Okay. Stop. Let's go. Is the woman here? Oh, it just straight up has a gun.
It's okay. Go home now. Put the gun down, Christopher.
The woman's walking in. She's gonna kill him. Oh! Barely. They got the woman. That was a really good shot. Alright, got her. Problem solved. I feel like we're gonna have some scenes to tell us a little better about them.
Home now.
I don't think you're gonna go home for a long time. You came here to kill your family. That's all anybody knows. It may be all that anyone ever believes.
I wasn't gonna do it.
Well, you're gonna have to talk to a lot of people about it.
My patient out of the hospital without my permission.
But don't put me in this position ever again.
I like that she's so upset about it.
Rude.
You were right.
Often am. Have to be more specific.
She wasn't ready to leave the hospital. She experienced a bit of anxiety, so I gave her a sedative.
Sedative? What did you give her?
I only gave her half a Valium, but she may be a little hazy.
Lying. She's high as fuck. This is a creepy ass dinner.
Hannibal made breakfast for dinner.
That's fucking funny. Hannibal cooked dinner. This feels like a family. Yeah.
What do you see?
Yeah, she sees her own patterns.
I see family.
There we go. Oh, one more scene. Oh, we're gonna have a scene of Jack being like, "You should have kids."
I think it's too late for us to have kids.
Aw.
It is for me.
Alright. Aw. Man. Alright. Doggies. That's a good house, you know? Having like 8 dogs, everyone's asleep, chilling. Alright. I like that at the end we got to see like everyone's family. Like, yeah, so we got to see Abigail, Hannibal, and Alana. And it's like a family to her. And then we got to see Jack Crawford, and he has his wife, and that's like the family. But then you get to see Will, and it's just him and the dogs. Alright, that is the family episode. I'm not gonna lie, it felt like that wrapped up relatively quickly, but at the same time, like, I'm not expecting that much out of a show that only has like 40 minutes of runtime. And I mean, they could have done it like a 2-parter, but they didn't. They just fit everything into a single episode. Like, I felt like this serial killer, this woman, and this idea was underutilized, because I felt like it was very interesting. I feel like it was a very interesting serial killer this time. It's a woman. It's just a straight up mom type woman who is just like, I want to get all the middle children with ADHD and some other things that might be lonely, and I will convince them that I love them with all my heart, and their family does not, and I'm gonna make them murder them all. because that is the only way that they can remove their ties from their own family, which is only a step on. It's a stepping stone in order for you to find your real family, which is what we have right now. That's fucking interesting. That's fucking wild. That's a really wild concept for a serial killer. I really like that one. I really like this one. Because there's a bunch of children that are committing murders because this one lady tells them to do it. Because she convinced them with the idea of, like, love. By the way, fucking Beverly Katz, that's her name, right? Like, I asked my friend, and people left it on the comments at this point. By the way, thank you for your information on the comments. It is very useful sometimes. And by the way, whenever I'm making jokes, I know I'm making jokes. Like, I'm not necessarily making commentary on the reality of how real the show is. I'm just making jokes, bro. But she was a great shot this episode. Like, this woman was literally holding a child, like this. Like, 80% of her body was being covered by a child, and then she got shot right here, like, specifically. That was a really clean shot from Beverly Katz. That was fucking fantastic. It's weird because she's like forensics, but then she's also like the best marksman I could see. Like, holy fuck, that was a good shot. Because she could have fucking gotten the child in the face, and she didn't. That's fucking great. God, that was fucking awesome. So anyway, I think that bad guy was maybe under her to lies. Unless she comes back, like, next episode we talk about it. But, like, I wanted to hear what her story was. I wanted to hear why. Just why. You can kind of imagine why, but I kind of want to hear it, you know? I really like this concept. But anyway, let's move on from there. So it felt like that serial killer was almost just made so we can have conversations between, you know, Will and Hannibal and Alana and I completely forgot her name. I completely forgot her name for like a second. In fact, I am checking it right now because I have written it down here. Abigail. I forgot Abigail's name. I'm sorry, Abigail. I do like Abigail. And I'm just saying the name over and over again to try and remember it. My memory sucks, by the way. That is the thing that I have. They mentioned ADHD for like a second in this episode. And I was like, yo, really? Because I think I might have that. I just don't have a diagnosis because that shit is expensive. But I felt that a little bit. So, okay. Abigail, like, here's the thing. It's that Hannibal just straight up adopted Abigail this episode. And I know that I made the joke at the beginning because that's kind of what he did last time. This episode is like for real. He was like, all right, you're coming here with me. And and you're coming here and we're going to eat and I'm going to drug you and we're going to try and bring you back. Like, I think that what Hannibal's trying to do, if I understood correctly, is that it's trying for Abigail to remember what she did. Like, okay, so I think he's assuming that she was in some way accomplice to the murders and she's blocking those memories. Because, again, we saw that same previous episode in this one too, where she's like hunting deer and then they're like talking about the deer and using the parts of the deer to honor it. But then at the last moment, it turns into a woman. It turns into a girl, and then she freaked out and she woke up. That's what happened last episode. And in this episode, when she drinks the mushrooms, she drinks the drugs, she is remembering that again. So what that's making me think is that she straight up assisted her dad in murdering the girls, but she doesn't remember that. She just either she blocked it or her dad fucking drugged her in some way in order for her to not be completely aware of what was happening. But she could have just blocked it. You know, the human brain is weird like that. She could have just blocked it, and she literally doesn't remember it. Because that's the thing. It's the previous episode. I was like, did she help? Did she not? Like, what's her deal? And the answer comes back. I think it's not fully confirmed, but what I'm thinking from this is that she actually does not remember that any of that happened. She actually does feel really fucked up over the fact that she's being connected to her dad, and also the fact that that she murdered that one dude, the dude from previous episode, and also her friend is dead. Like, she actually does feel bad about all these things. So she's not heartless and sociopathic. She literally feels those things. So she's not being manipulative in that way. But she might have assisted her dad in committing a murder. She just blocked all of that. So that version of Abigail might just not be there anymore. But I think Hannibal is just straight up trying to bring that back. He's like, all right, I'm going to drug you to see if you can remember that shit. And if you can remember that shit, that means that you can actually be like a pretty efficient killer. And maybe we can help each other out. Like, Abigail was like, I want to work for the FBI. It's like, okay, how old are you? Like, 18? It's like, girl. Because they're talking about school. And it's like, well, I can't go to school anymore because all the schools I applied to had girls that my dad had murdered. So it's like, well, god damn it. What now? And like, and I like that she's like, I want to apply to the FBI. And fucking Animal is like, well, that would be good. You can like scout for me. You could be like my mole in the FBI. It would be fucking wild. Like, Hannibal is already kind of a mole in the FBI already. Because he's like a consultant to a lot of things. Like, he knows a lot about these cases just because he gets to talk to Will. Alright, so that's fucking crazy. Anyway, so the topic of the episode was very much just family. And, you know, this is the way the show seems to be doing it, is that we're going to have a serial killer or a case or something that we're working on that is going to directly tie thematically to what the characters have to deal with. Oh, by the way, Hannibal just straight up fed people to Jack Crawford. Jack Crawford is already a cannibal. I'm assuming Will is a cannibal too, and anyone who was eaten at his stable. Oh yeah, at the end, Alana and Abigail are also cannibals now. Well, Abigail was already a cannibal. Never mind that. Anyway, everyone in the show is a cannibal because Hannibal was there. And he keeps eating people foods. Yo, it's really funny. It's really funny. When someone says, hey, Hannibal cooked us a meal. It's like, it's pretty funny. It would be really funny if, like, in one of these episodes, like, this show is like 40 episodes long. I don't know, in episode like 25, someone says that Hannibal cooked food, and then someone said, what? Oh, sorry, I misheard you. I thought you said the word cannibal. Ha ha ha. Anyway. It would be really funny if they did that. I would really love it if they did that. That would be a fun gag. Alright, so, what else happened that we can talk about? Because the Abigail thing is interesting, but, like, that's pretty much everything that happened. Oh, yeah, well, no, Will's dogs aren't cannibals, because that would have mean that they had to eat other dogs in order for them to be cannibals. They just ate someone. That's fine. Sure. By the way, do humans taste like rabbits? Humans taste like rabbits. I know about the pork thing, but like... everyone says pork. Like, I'm reading it. I read it before. While watching the show, I was like... I had the doubt. Because at one point he fed Jack something, and Jack was like, what is this? And he was like, oh, it's pork. And it's like, oh. And I was like, ugh, I know that human meat is supposed to taste like pork, or so I've heard. And then I Googled it, and it seems to be true. But like, rabbit? I never tried rabbit. Maybe rabbit is not even a common food. I don't know. I don't know if rabbit is a common food. Maybe it's not. I mean, it really depends from region to region, right? I'm not sure if that is common in America or not. But if it's not, then it would make sense for him to just say a random ass animal, and Jack being like, yeah, sure, whatever. But if anything, that just almost felt like just to say, well, should have hopped faster. Yeah, I should have. And then just hard cut to a kid running. Not a kid. I don't know. It was a young man, I think. Anyway. So, what else happened? I mean, I'm still very intrigued as to this serial killer. This lady and the children. That's fucked. I wanted more of that. We didn't get enough. It feels like every episode we don't get enough. That's what it feels like. It feels like I want more. It feels like I want these story arcs to last 2 episodes instead of 1. But then at that point, it might drag on too long. But like, it almost feels like any story arc is just there to thematically tie into the personal storylines that we're dealing with the main characters of the show, which, you know, that's fair. I understand that. But then it almost makes it feel like everything else regarding the case itself is just kind of dead air. It's not, but if it's just gonna serve as a thematic tie-in to the main plot, then why care about the subplot? You know, that's kind of what I feel like about the structure of the show. People have told me, I think someone dropped a comment that was like, don't worry about the episodic nature of the show because it will stop being episodic eventually. It will become more linear rather than episodic. Linear? Is that the word I want to use? Like, things will just start making sense episode to episode instead of just being like villain of the week kind of thing. Not that I mind that. It just feels... I just think it could have handled it better. I like that Alana was doing checkups with Abigail. I forgot her name again. I like that. Because like the thing is that it is her patient, but like I wasn't sure if they were gonna continue to be there for her, but she is. She continues to be there for her. She wants to talk to her about stuff. She wants her to share with other victims of other things that might have happened. And Abigail does not want to. She feels like it's awful. She feels like she feels worse by doing that. Because the thing is that Abigail has to lie. Abigail cannot actually open up about what she's done or what she feels, because doing so would mean that she would have to admit murder, which is something that she has to hide from everyone. But I like that Hannibal comes in and is like, well, when you're around everyone else, you have to lie about one thing, but when you're around me, you don't have to lie about anything, because he knows everything. Hannibal knows about that, so Hannibal becomes de facto the most close person to Abigail, just because he helped her out. He knows her secret, she knows his secret, so there is a bond of trust forming between the two of them. And like, it's weird because he straight up adopted a murder daughter, and he's trying to make her more murder daughter, and she adopted her. She got fucking taken by another cannibal murder dad, and she knows it. And they're both down with it. It's fucking wild. I said it when the reaction ended, but like, I like how at the end of the episode it feels like Abigail is looking at Alana and Hannibal and she sees like parents. And then you get to see Jack Crawford and he talks to his wife and he's like, do you think it's too late to have children? And she's like, for me it is. So maybe it's talking about menopause, or maybe it's talking about the fact that she just doesn't want to anymore. And then you get to see Will, and he's just seeing it. He's in bed trying to fall asleep, looking at like, we never did this. Let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there is like a couple pillows that I cannot tell if they're dogs or not. Literally cannot tell if those pillows are dogs or not. Can we get a better shot? Okay, they're not moving, so I think it's just pillows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 dogs. That's a good number. So Will just straight out has 7 dogs. But like, I like that is his family, you know, because at the end of the episode, it showed everyone and what everyone's quote unquote family is, and Will's family is just the bunch of dogs. It's not the FBI people. It's not his friends, because he doesn't really connect to people. It's his dogs, the only people he feels like he could connect to. So there you go. I do like those parallels. That's pretty neat. I also do love that he's dog lover supreme. The fact that he has so many dogs. Oh, he bought a gift for Abigail. A Christmas present. about what was it? It was a kit in order for you to use flies as a bait for fishing. Some shit like that. And it's because Abigail did go deer hunting with her dad, so it's like it's already like a hunting thing. And I like that Hannibal was like, are you feeling, what is it the word that he used? Are you feeling like a father? And it's like, aren't you? Because both of them do feel to a degree responsible about it, about what happened. Both were there, and both are kind of taking care of her, because this Abigail just has them now, kind of. So there you go. Okay. Is there anything else I should be paying attention here? I hated the close-up of the worms on the food. The worms are gross. I don't want to see them. But worms, maggots, I don't know. Same thing to me. I hate them. Anyway, I think the murder children with the crazy woman plotline could have been used better. Maybe we'll get to see a next episode. But I'm not getting my hopes up. At the end of the day, I feel like that was just kind of a thing of like, we are doing this type of case so it ties in thematically to the family theme we're pushing for this episode. Like, that's what it feels like to me. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this episode. I don't think there's anything else I can talk about it. Yeah, maybe Abigail will remember everything that she did, and then Hannibal will be there for her, and then she'll be totally down with murder. And Hannibal will be like, cool, now we can be a murder family. Alana's eating people. Everyone's been eating people. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Will's still struggling with like literally everything. Like every scene. Well, so I liked how they said, Will said that whenever sometimes he likes to go out during nighttime to the field and then look back at his house with the lights on, and he sees his house, and to him it almost looks like a boat in the middle of like the ocean or whatever, and that to him brings him like a sense of calmness. And I was like, weird thing to see or to picture, but then they bring up the idea that he always went from places to places with dad because dad was a boatman or something. I don't remember exactly what he said. So he was always the outcast, the new kid in class. He never really related to people because he couldn't. But to him, there is like a sense of belonging, or like a sense of this is home, to the idea of just being from place to place on a boat. So that's why he sees that. And I thought that was kind of cool. There was a straight up child that was burned to death. Just straight up burned. So that happened. Anyway, that was still less gross than the maggots, I'll be honest with you. But anyway, that was it for this episode, I think. I think we're done. So yeah, thank you for tuning in for this reaction episode of Hannibal. And if you would like to watch next episode of Hannibal, might be a good one, maybe not be, we'll see. Check so over at Patreon. We have early access as well as full-length reactions over there. So yeah, check the link in the description for that, social media, everything else, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.